Now we're going to cover Route 1 in Naas. So just when you're coming out of your parking space, check that it's safe. Use your indicator. I'm going to go up to the stop sign here and turn to the right. So check your mirrors and indicate to the right. So to be centre and right mirror, right indicator. Now when you move off, just cancel your indicator. We're taking the second exit of the roundabout, which is straight on. So centre and left mirror and signal left exit off the roundabout. Make sure your left blind spot is clear. Now, when you're going up to the traffic lights, the Newbridge Road, we're going left. So make sure you move on up through the gears going up this road. Don't be lingering in the lower gears. So centre and left mirror and left indicator. We're going to block change here from gear 4 over to gear 2. Now I'm going to check my centre and left again, have a quick glance to the right, and then I'm going to look to my direction of travel. On the Newbridge Road now, I'm going to be taking the second road to the right, which is into St. David's Terrace. So centre mirror and right indicator, keep your position along the centre line. Slowing down, block change over to gear 2, look into the road you're entering, and turn in. Now it's a 30 zone here, you can see a sign there on approach saying it's a slow zone. Now keep nicely to the left here in this sharp bend. Look in your centre and right mirror to ease out for the parked cars. Centre and left mirror when you pass the last one and move back to your side. We're going right to the junction, centre and right mirror and right indicator. This takes you to the old Carter Road. Complete stop, creep up a little. When it's safe, you complete your turn. I'm going to drive down to the T-junction and I'm going left. That takes me back onto the Newbridge Road. So centre mirror, left indicator. Make sure you position your car correctly here at the junction. And you must stop fully. Complete stop at the stop sign. Use your handbrake if you're going to be waiting a little while, which we are. So be on the bite and ready to pop out in your opportunities coming up. At the traffic lights up ahead, we're going left, so centre and left mirror, left indicator, gear 2. Now there is a left turn just before the junction, so make sure you don't give a misleading signal. So I'm in gear 1, clutch in all the way, handbrake on, keeping an eye on the traffic lights and being aware of my surroundings. When I'm about to move away here, I'm going to check my centre and left mirror here again, and I'm going to have a quick glance to the right. Mirror checks, glance right, up to gear 2, look into the road you're entering. going to go down to the next set of traffic lights and we're going to turn to our left onto the Naas Route. So here I'm going to look at my mirrors and I'm going to ease slightly over to the left so I'll be lined up for the correct lane. There's an entrance to Dunstore's car park here, so sometimes that can be quite busy. And I'm going to be stopping just this side of the yellow box. There is an entrance there as well in the laneway, so just when I'm going over the yellow box, that's when I'll be checking my mirrors again and indicating to the left. Centre and left mirror, left indicator, and into the road. Now I'm going to drive up to the pedestrian lights up ahead and I'm going right into Hollywood Park. And I'm going to do a turnabout of the road there. So centre and right mirror and approach indicating to the right. I'm going to just block change here from gear 4 to gear 2, which is the correct way to do it. Give way. Look into the road you're entering and make the turn. I'm going to put it on the left hand side here after the ramp and I'm going to do a turnabout here. Okay, you put your car in gear 1. There's a few key things with this you must get right. You must show a high degree of clutch control, you must take good observations, you must use your steering accurately and use up the available road space and give way. So a little bit of gas, clutch to bite, check my left and right blind spot and indicate, handbrake off, quick with the steering, slow with the car, use up the road space that's available, pop the car into reverse, use the handbrake if necessary, look over your right, look over your left, stay looking out the back window, that's your direction of travel. When you're about halfway across the road, turn your head and look over your right shoulder to see where the curb is. At this point here, put your car in gear 1, look to your left and then look to your direction of travel. You may be asked to do the hand signals after you do that exercise. So I'm going down to the junction here and I'm going to go to my left onto the Naas Route again. So centre and left mirror and indicating to the left. Now the pedestrian lights are red there, so the pedestrians have right of way. So I'm going to creep a little bit now. And the car is giving way to me, so out I go. Okay, so here I'm going to look at my mirrors here. I'm going to ease out gradually from this truck with the hazard warning lights on. And look at my mirrors and ease back. I'm going to drive down to the traffic lights at Main Street. And I'm going to go left at those traffic lights. So centre and left mirror and left indicator. mirrors again, quick glance to the right and look to your direction of travel. In the next road to the right, just here at Baller's Hotel, to Friary Road. Into the road before you turn in. Down to the T-junction and turning right onto the Passenger Road. So while you're waiting here, you've waited your handbrake on because there's a bit of traffic coming. We'll be delayed a little while. Taking the next road to the right into Sandwell Estate. Centre and right, mirror and right indicator. Look into the road before you enter it. So the man gave us right away, so we just avail of it. Taking the next road to the right, so centre and right, mirror and right indicator again. Look into the road you're entering. There is cars parked on the left hand side, so you just have to turn to the right hand side. So once you see them before you turn in is key. Now I'm going to pull over on the left hand side here, just past this car. So I'm going to check all my mirrors and signal to the left. And I'm going to do a reverse around the corner just down here. So I'm going to check my mirrors, my blind spots and signal to move away. Cancel off the indicator. You don't need to move out too far on the road. Go a few car lengths past the junction and put it on the left hand side. And handbrake. Now again, there's a few key things with this. You must show a high degree of touch control, take good all-round observations, give way to other road users, accurate use of the steering, and don't miss your point of turn. So if you have your mirrors set correctly on your car the way they should be, you should be just skimming the side of the car. You may adjust your mirror down, and your left mirror down before you start. You can't interfere with your mirrors after that. So if you keep an eye on the left mirror, keep the curb in the mirror at all times. So I'm going to put the car into reverse gear. I'm going to look over my right, look over my left. My strongest focus is to look out the back window because that's my direction of travel. So it's back window, you look in your left side mirror and have a glance to the right. Before you turn into the road, strong look over your right shoulder. Look back up into the road you're entering. Halfway around the bend, take another strong look to the right. And you reverse back until the examiner asks you to stop. You use touch control for the whole exercise. Keep a little bit of rev in the engine, which prevents the car from cutting out. Okay, we can stop here. So now we're going to move away. So again, checking your mirrors and blind spot and signalling. Cancel off the indicator. We're going right at the junction then. So mirrors and signal to the right. Come down. cars parked to the left, so centre and right mirror to ease out, keep a door width out from the parked cars, centre and left mirror to come back to your side. We're going left at the junction, so centre and left mirror and left indicator. Quite a clear junction view there, so you can move out there in second gear. We're going down to the T-junction and going to our right onto the Blessington Road. So centre and right mirror and right indicator again. And we'll stop fully. Gear 1. I'm going down to the traffic lights and I'm going to turn to my right onto the Ballykane Road. So there's a lane change approaching the lights here as well. So about here, look in your centre and right mirror indicating to your right. Just before you enter the lane, check in your mirrors and blind spot, enter your lane. And move up to the centre of the junction. Look into the road you're entering. We'll give way to the pedestrian here. So if a pedestrian is walking across, you must give way. Now you may be asked to do a hill start there on this hill here, so you'll be asked to put in somewhere along there. So the key things with a hill start are that you do the correct observations moving off and you don't allow rollback. They're the key things. Up to the next traffic lights and I'm going to go to my right onto the Paddockstown Road, so centre and right mirror and right indicator. Just before you enter the lane, right mirror check and right blind spot. So checking your right blind spot, changing lane is just bring your chin to your right shoulder. You'll be looking out your right side window. That's all. So checking your blind spot in the moves, you just bring your chin to your right or left shoulder depending on which lane you're changing to, if it's right or left. Checking your blind spot moving away from the side of the road, you must take a strong look over your left and right shoulder. That is the difference. You cannot be looking back when you're driving forward. Now the lights are green, so we're just going to move to the centre of the junction here. We're just monitoring oncoming traffic. We'll have a quick look into the road we're entering as well, make sure there's no obstructions. This is going to take us on down by the hospital. So you have these mat style ramps here, so gear 3 would be okay with those once you approach them correctly. We're going to take the next road to the right into Lakelands Estate. So centre and right mirror and right indicator. Gear 2. Look into the road before you go in. Taking the next road to the right, so centre and right mirror again and right indicator. Centre and right mirror again and right indicator. And the van parked to the right, so centre and right mirror and ease out, door width out. Up in the distance you can see another van parked up, so you'd hold your position out unless there was an oncoming car, because if you go back in you're just going into a blind spot. So when I pass this van, centre and left mirror again and ease back to my side. So mirror checks are sufficient in a housing estate passing vehicles like that. Now the only time you'd indicate if I had to stop behind the van to let a car come forward, then I'd need to check my blind spots and indicate. Going down to the next junction, I'm going to my left, so centre and left mirror and left indicator. I'm driving down to the next T-junction. I'm going to go to my left. So centre and left mirror and left indicator. So you can see there's a stop written on the road and a stop line. So you must stop the car fully. No matter how clear a view you have, you've got to stop. Moving out. Taking the next road to the right. So centre and right mirror again and right indicator. Taking the next left. So centre and left mirror and left indicator. And again it's a complete stop. I'm driving down to the T-junction and I'm going to go to my right. So we're back out onto the Clodagstone Road at this junction here. Driving up to the next junction and I'm going to go to my left onto the Ballymore Road. So centre and left mirror and left indicator. And again a complete stop. Taking the next road to the right onto Patrician Avenue. So centre and right mirror and right indicator. Look into the junctions, pedestrian crossing, so we'll wait till they clear it and we turn in. So centre and right mirror to keep out from this parked van. And hold the position out. This is a car going from the opposite direction. At the next junction I'm going left, so centre and left mirror and left indicator. Handbrake. We're waiting here, there's a couple of cars coming. We're on the Kilcullen Road here. So I'm going to go drive up to the roundabout and I'm going to take the third exit. Take me onto the ring road. So when you're out on a route, make sure if there's any changes in speed limits, see it, be aware of it. So centre and right mirror and right indicator. Approaching a roundabout, the way to observe is glance right, look to your direction of travel several times, and if it's clear, move along, and if there's something coming from your right, you must give way. That's how simple it is. To exit off, centre and left mirror signalling. You look to your left blind spot as well. To the next roundabout and we're taking the second exit, which is to the right. So centre and right mirror and right indicator. Block change over to gear 2. And to exit off the roundabout, centre and left mirror and indicating to the left. to my right, so centre and right mirror and right indicator. Come to gear 2 just before the ramp. Centre and left mirror indicate left to exit off the roundabout. The next roundabout I'm taking the second exit, which is to the right. Takes me back into the test centre. So centre and right mirror and right indicator. Centre and left mirror and left indicator, turn in. Now when you come back in after the test, you can drive into a parking space. You don't have to reverse it. So that concludes Route 1.